All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you had a wonderful day. It was an absolutely wild day. We started off with a gap down and another surprise, and unfortunately, the market now is entertaining the idea that global conflict and World War III might return. So let me break it down for you. There was a lot of different things even throughout the day. We called out a bunch of headlines, and the moves was absolutely wild. You had a gap down. You were down almost 1% on the NASDAQ, and then you spent about an hour there, and then all of a sudden that turned into fuel for the rally. Now we're just a little bit higher than where we were at last week, and again, you pull it out, you're still kind of dealing with that election zone that we have been in, but what went down, it actually started yesterday. Now, we briefly talked about this. It was kind of in passing. It seemed like a big deal, but then everybody kind of overlooked it. But yesterday, Biden had a talk with Zelensky and said, hey, you are now allowed to use long-range United States ATACMS missiles. You can now use them on Russian territory. We have said no to this for this whole entire conflict. Other countries like Germany, they even would not allow their weapons to be used on Russian territory like that. Again, it was even a big deal to give them tanks and certain aircraft. So this was a big deal. Russia, even a couple of months ago, and even today, they updated their nuclear doctrine to say that they would consider this an act of war. So sadly, it was kind of a red line, and within like 12 hours of Biden telling Ukraine that they could do it, they literally used U.S. missiles on Russian territory, and then we woke up to everybody freaking out. There was even a bid on the bonds. Stocks gapped down. I mean, even gold got a bid, and then the dollar started low and went up, and that was the first part of the day, and now the markets, unfortunately, it's just going to be on the menu of things we have to deal with. Like I was telling you guys the other day, we're probably not going to have anything get in the way, but if this does truly turn into war escalation, then we will have problems. But now here's where it gets better. And if you were on stream today, you saw it. Remember there was that headline about Iran saying they're going to stop their nuclear enrichment program. Well, stocks started rallying from there. It kind of coincides right around here where things started to take off. So you had escalation news on one front with Russia and Ukraine, and then kind of de-escalation on another front with Iran. And then there was even some comments by Musk. We heard about the treasurer. You find out where Howard Lutnick, one of those picks for Trump, he's going to be like the national economic advisor. So all of those things moved, and before we knew it, we kind of used this as short squeeze fuel and got back to the Trump trade. Now, moving on, we have a big event with Nvidia tomorrow. We're going to be dealing with that. I have the keys, the breakdown, but when it's all said and done, the last 48 hours of this week, man, it has been heating up from the crypto news to now this. By the time we get Nvidia earnings, I am sure we're going to have a wild week. So I got the recap. I got the keys. I got the plays. I actually made a few of them today. And then everything else we need for tomorrow, what I need from you, a thumbs up on the video. Make sure you're subscribed. And if you don't know, we are live Monday through Friday, 30 minutes before open, youtube.com/the stock market. We will see you there in the morning, baby. Run it.
Walking to the couch, it's the joints on the legs. Live in the hills, but I still get a spread. Started with a live, but I still reinvest it. Feel how I feel, then you feel like a blessing. I just want the lesson, I just want protection. I'm up and I'm down, but they sound like progression. Farmer never plans if he waits for perfection. Finger to the down.
But right off the bat, like I'm telling you, this World War III, Russia-Ukraine escalation, this was the major story of the day. Now, here's the deal. Unfortunately, a red line was crossed. Russia has said this a lot. We now have to see what the reaction is, but you're also watching countries like Iran and even the rest of the world. They're getting ready for Trump's presidency, so here's the deal. This drama can go away just as quickly as it arrived. This was on nobody's bingo card for the end of the year. You're getting this with only a couple weeks left of the Biden administration. Does this actually turn into something, or is this going to be one of our 1 week freakouts on and off? But by the time Trump comes in, it dies down. And as long as Russia and Putin do not use this as an excuse to escalate, that's where we're going to find out. So I think it's very interesting because, like I'm saying, it's adding so much more to this week that we weren't dealing with. But now you have to ask yourself, coming into inauguration, global events, everything going on, I mean, the whole world is getting ready for Trump right now. So there's a lot at stake. The question is, are people going to want to ruin that or change things, or are we going to kind of ignore this and then wait till Trump gets in to decide what the appropriate response will be? So we'll find out. But if you get more of this, if you start seeing other countries like Germany say, okay, you could use long-range missiles, then it's going to escalate. But if it stops here, now it's going to be wait-and-see mode. And, well, welcome to geopolitics. I think you all have been versed in it over the last couple of years. So we'll see where that takes us. That was the first key. And now coming into tomorrow, we'll talk a little bit about the events, but like I have been telling you, this Treasury pick is huge, and this morning we got a new update. So there's two things. We found out about a new pick, Kevin Warsh. I'll tell you about that. But then also the word on the street right now, by tomorrow, Wednesday, we should hear who Trump is going to be selecting. So like I'm telling you, for gold and for the bonds, and really a lot of things, this is a very consequential pick. Everybody's getting all dramatic about all the other ones. No, bro, this is the one that matters. And now, today, you even got it. There was a little bit of a fear bid on the bonds from what was going on with the war. You clearly saw that. But then another thing fueling bonds and some of the positive movements that we saw in the market today, it was Kevin Warsh. So apparently Kevin Warsh, it's not just Howard Lutnick, it's not just Scott Bessent. Remember, we talked about that drama of a lot of people getting introduced to the race, but this guy right here, Kevin Warsh, he is a former Federal Reserve governor. This guy is the safe pick. And now it sucks, man, because I don't think you guys should trust my judgment. I know that may sound weird, but I thought Yellen was going to be legit, and I told you I thought Yellen was going to be stability, and now my kids that I don't even have and my future children, they're mad at me because of Yellen. So the thing is, last 4 years, I mean, we kind of got thrown a curveball when it came to the treasurer. So for now, this guy looks safe, but this is what I keep telling you guys. We do not know what's actually going to happen. We could all assume and have an idea, but they got to actually execute. So unfortunately, Yellen kind of failed me. I was excited about her 4 years ago, and she was not as stable as I thought she would be. I thought Yellen would have been a safe pick back then, and she ended up kind of being a little bit crazy there. So Kevin Warsh, for now, he is considered the safe pick. Why? I'm telling you, bro, Trump has literally picked this dude out just like Powell. I mean, his background is so much like Powell. It's wild. Literally, he has a Wall Street background. He worked for Morgan Stanley, Harvard Law graduate. He professes at Stanford now, but even '08, like Powell, he was a part of the recovery. He was that liaison working with banks and the government to make sure that things didn't blow up. So he was part of helping everything out there. He was at the ground level, and even currently, he's one of like 30 economic advisors that advises the CBO right now. So again, you could ask yourself how well they did and where he fits into that, but fact is, he is just completely different. He has way more experience, background. Again, this is why he is considered the safe pick so far. So I really think the bond market and a lot of people would like him. We'll find out tomorrow, but once we know, this is going to be very interesting. So keep your eyes out for that. That is key number 2. And then finally, tomorrow, man, it's going to play out like the last few days. I think depending on what we wake up to tomorrow, whether more war headlines or crypto news or, again, something with policy and all of these trades we've been dealing with, it's either we respond to that, the dollar and all the other currencies, and then you're going to kind of meander. And then after the bell, you get Nvidia earnings. But then after that, Thursday, Friday, it's going to be, until we get some of the data, all about whatever happens on Nvidia earnings. Now, here's the deal. I can't stress this enough. I told you guys yesterday, the VIX tops out tomorrow in terms of this week and expected volatility, but Nvidia is a economic event. Do you know how serious it is? I have said Nvidia like 5 times in a row instead of Nvidia. So yeah, you know what I'm saying? So tomorrow, it's going to be a big deal. But at the same time, that doesn't mean all of your plays are going to work. So be very careful. But everybody's going to be looking at the report. The next few days will be the follow-up. Again, you'll get your laggers and leaders and Russell and NASDAQ. That dynamic will definitely be at play. And then from there, we'll find out if we have another new piece of info. Again, we're kind of riding the melt-up wave, but again, crypto news this week, and then now this war stuff. We'll see if we have AI things to add to the end of it. So that's all we have. It should be very excited, though. I hope you're ready for the middle of the week, but now let us get into the plays. So right off the bat, I got a couple of different plays, kind of random. To be honest, I do think Nvidia, we'll talk about that, but Estee Lauder, I made a play on this. I even have some old January ones from their earnings, and remember, they got clobbered on earnings, but today, one of the directors made a random share purchase. This was not a 401(b) trading plan. It was not related to any company shares. Homeboy just wanted to buy like 100 and something thousand shares of the stock. It was a couple $1,000,000, definitely a decent amount. So I like that news, but I don't know if it's enough to move it. And I really think Estee Lauder at this point, it's pretty much tied to the China plays, even though it's not a Chinese company. But I do think part of the humility trade, I think towards the end of the year, they'll do better. But I did make a speculative play. I saw it move. I thought it would have been a bigger pop, but it kind of chilled out. So we'll see where that takes us. We'll go over that play there in a second. But that is play number one. And now play number two, Nvidia. So during the day, I'm going to have the preview. I'll post it on my Twitter. Go Real Colt News. If you guys miss any of the earnings preview, I post that little preview that I got. It's on the Twitter. So I'll get that out there. But the last couple of Nvidia earnings, if you've been there live on stream, we've gone over the option chain. Go look in the description of this video. It says tutorial on pricing options. I would watch that. Trust me, it's going to help you out. But we go through the pricing, and then I show you the options. So I hope you guys are aware when it comes to earnings tomorrow and Nvidia, you have two options. You see what's priced in. You either agree and disagree and play what is priced in and buy the premium. You either go for the outsized cheaper move of 2 standard deviations. If it's cheap enough and meets criteria, you could straddle and buy both sides saying, well, I think it'll move at least this amount. Or if you don't think it'll move more than what the market maker's priced in, you short the straddle. If you think it's going to go exactly where the market maker priced things in, you would short an iron condor. And then that way, if it stays in the 10% range, you make money selling premium. And then if you think it'll move up or down more than what it's priced in, you buy the condor so that if it does move out of the range, you're able to make money. I don't know if this is overwhelming or not. This is what we do every time. I do it live, but these are your options. So make up your mind. The earlier you do it, it'll probably be better. But remember, premiums move around crazy. So I have one play. I made it the other day. That was the 172.5 call. They went up today, but man, if you saw that play, I'm telling you, we bottom ticked Nvidia, but those out-of-the-money options, man, the volatility was weird. I literally bought this in the morning yesterday, like right around here, and now the stock went up $10. The plays only went up like 30%. So I do think premiums might move around tomorrow. They may not. If anything, today's action just shows me they'll kind of hold their value even if it comes down, but there's going to be that final move. Get your strategy in place, make up your mind, but it really comes down to if it's pricing in a lot, are you going to agree or disagree with the market maker? And there's like 3 or 4 ways you could go about playing that. So I hope you guys are prepared, but that is key number 2 or play number 2. And then finally, play number 3, Rumble. I know I'm on YouTube right now, but Rumble. And I don't know if this is a clear winner yet. I do think Google can do better under Trump. Again, there's apparently Elon tweeted today about no advertising pharma on social media, and that's why social media stocks kind of got hit a little bit. So I don't know where Rumble fits into that, and I don't know if they're going to be a clear winner from all of this deregulation stuff. They should be able to compete better with YouTube, but fact of the matter is, this was part of the OG Trump basket. I don't know if you guys remember, like beginning of this year, last year, this was part of those like MAGA trades before MAGA got popular, if you know what I'm saying. So it's funny because they're the one that's lagging behind, and that kind of caught my attention. I'm like, well, all these other guys are going crazy, the crypto, even DJT, so maybe there's opportunity in there, but I don't like SPACs. I know this company is in the building stage, so they're more prone to being dilutive, but again, if it's going to get hype, I know a lot of people have eyes on it. It was part of that OG basket. Let's see if it takes off or not. So I don't have any plays, but I'll definitely be keeping my eye out for it. That is play number 3, and now as far as everything else, I made a couple of plays today. I actually did a lot. I started off the morning LMT December 640, a little bit of time. Grab one for 45. I tried to get more, but it wouldn't fill. And this was a sweet spot. It actually held up pretty good. There was a very wide spread. I don't know if you ever played LMT contracts. It's pretty difficult. Widespread, unless the stock makes a major move, you're probably going to lose. But if it starts moving, these contracts will go up to $1, $2 real quick. So we'll see where that plays out. That's just related to the Warsh stuff. Then Citi, I talked about it yesterday. I told you exactly what my plan was. It gapped down another 2% today. So I said, you know what? I could go $5 closer to the money. I had the January 95s. So I grabbed the 90s today. I grabbed even more. I had 25 of the other ones. I grabbed 50 of these at 07. So spent a little more, but it was a good purchase. The stock rebounded most of it throughout the day. So good timing on that one. Again, ride that out. Part of the Trump trade, or maybe this is my cheaper double dip of the KREs that we took profit on, but that's Citi, play number 2, then Estee Lauder, the one I was telling you about. It popped. It looked like it was about to be a news headline. Then I got the Form 4 there, but I grabbed 72 contracts for next week. I don't like the short time. I kind of spent too much on this play, so if it does start to move tomorrow, I'll probably get out of it, but I grabbed 2 of them at 25 cents. Then Pubmatic, what was it? They had a deal today with Twitter, but we caught like a 9% candle. These contracts didn't move. I grabbed 2 for 10 cents, so $20 a pop till January. I didn't really have follow through, but they held up, so we'll see. But that one, again, smaller. Hopefully you're vibing with the strategy. And then Target, I did 2 standard deviations. Earnings play, it was about $80 both ways, and I like 2 standard deviations. They're pricing in 8%. It needs a 16% move, but literally staples are down 8% on the quarter, while Target is up 8% or 5%. That's literally almost 16% if it comes back to the industry. And then if it outperforms, go look at Walmart. They're already going up above 2 standard deviations compared to the industry. So I liked it, but you never know. I think tomorrow, if this doesn't have a blowout or you get one of those, it blows out by the morning, these may, you may have a better opportunity to play the post, but if it does have a blowout move, these will hit. If not, if it moves 10%, no more, you will lose on this. I said that today. So keep in mind the 2 standard deviation strategy, but that's all I did today. I think very simple. Again, I played a little bit more, but try to keep it a little smaller. We'll see where it all takes us. The TLTs came back. Some of them are still red, those December ones, but they're only down 10%. The big March play came back up. Like I said, those Nvidias came up. I'm going to sell at least one of them before close. And then I think those ARCs went up, and then we got the Citi play. So kind of moved around, similar exposure, but now a little bit more TLT. And then those plays we added today, and then we will see where it takes us. But Chad, that is your watch list, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure hydrate, healthy, ready to go. Make sure post your watch list. Make sure we see you there in the morning. I need the armor on. I need the helmet shining. And I need you to remember, you have the spirit of greatness, one of the OGs of greatness. It's in you, buddy. You got to bring it out. So know where you get it and get it where you fit in, baby. But it's in you. Bring out the beast. But I love you. Drink that water. Stay hydrated, healthy, all that good stuff. I'll see you in the morning. And horn.